I know this is dropping a day early, but it's been 1 year since Honkai Star Rail officially released, as well as 1 year since I first heard about this game. Over this past year, I've not only fallen in love with this game, but it has also helped me make the decision to take content creation much more seriously, and I really appreciate everything that me playing this game has led to. So today, I want to take a look at and really just show you all what my account is looking like for playing the game consistently for an entire year. Not only to just like show my journey, but also show that, if you are like a newer player starting out, with the right time and everything, especially with my account being fully free to play, you can, if you struggle with something, you can definitely get to the point of end game and be able to do some good stuff with your account. So yeah, I'm gonna show off my account, and then definitely I want you all to stick around to the end as well, because I am gonna also talk about whether or not Honkai Star Rail does live up to the hype that we had for it on release. So starting with my account here, I did start the first day the game was out, which was April 26th of last year, and been playing very consistently since the start of the game. I think I only missed maybe like 3 days of login when I was sick back in October. But yeah, just real quick here, in terms of like clearing stuff, in terms of like the end game stuff, 'cause I know that's the big thing on people's minds, I have cleared every pure fiction that we've gotten so far, 12 stars, and for Memory of Chaos, ever since I think like late 1.3 or early 1.4, I've been able to 36 star. So yeah, like it definitely is a process to get to those, but you do, build up your account over time and you are able to get that done. Now, rather than going over like every single character, I kind of just wanted to like document my journey. So I did make an order of all the 5 stars I've gotten in chronological order. I didn't do every character, including 4 stars would be kind of crazy. So I did just want to do 5 stars. I have them on some of the teams here, so we're gonna go through that. Trying not to take super long because I don't want it to be such a crazy long video for y'all, but I do kind of just want to document my journey and show you all how my year of Star Rail has been. So when I started the game, unknown to me at the time because I was still learning about everything, I got one of the best standard 5 stars on the beginner departure warp banner. I ended up getting Bronya. And Bronya has been a very strong character for my account, even to this day. Now I have signature light cone. She's built up pretty decently. I think I'm messing around with her relics. Her speed's a little lower than it should be right now. But Bronya, very good character to start out with. If you manage to pull her, she is going to be really good for an early game, or even just like no matter even where you are in the game, but early game especially, having her there to start as a support character, very good. So I did have a very nice start to the game with her. Then I managed to, as I'm pulling, because, beginning of the game is when Seela came out, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to pull for Seela, because she's cool, and she's, the first limited character. And I'll see if I, remember to put the screenshot in, but I managed to get my first and only double in Honkai Star Rail. I pulled Bailu, who I defend to the end of the earth at this point, because she's been so helpful for me ever since I started, and she can still hang in the current content in the game. Now, there's definitely better healers and sustainers in the game, but Bailu can still cook, and I will never stop defending this character. I don't think I will ever do that, just because her healing is great. She has great damage reduction. The revive is nice, but it's not obviously going to be like a super big selling factor because you don't want to die in the first place when it comes to endgame content and everything. But she still does have it as a kind of like emergency. But yeah, then right in that same multi, I did pull Seela, who probably is one of my better built characters on my account still. Definitely am pretty proud of how she does. She could obviously be better. I don't have signature light con or anything. She is E0. But, from a free-to-play perspective, she does very well for me. And, that was always a great start for me. Just because, the state of the game now is very different than it was back at launch. So maybe Seela isn't as valuable right now as she was back then. But, she could still kind of cook. And then, a bit after that, I did manage to pull Welt on the standard banner. Not really going to go into him too much because I don't have him built right now. But he is a cool character that I will probably invest in at some point. I definitely do plan to cover because Welt is, he's a very interesting character, both in, lore and in his kit as well. Then next up, that's pretty much 1.0. Also, I realized I forgot Silverwolf here. I did pull Silverwolf. I don't know how I forgot Silverwolf. Yeah, let me pull for details. Yeah, I pulled Silverwolf in 1.1. Back then, she was super, like, people were like, oh, she's broken. She definitely still is very good, and I think she's just going to be timeless. in terms of being able to use on a bunch of teams, just because of her weakness type application and just her a lot of her debuffs, her defense shred on her ultimate. I think she's gonna be probably really good if the new end game mode that's coming out is gonna be single target. So she's definitely very good for me as well. And then also this sort of gem that the newer players sadly won't get to really experience because they haven't brought back event exclusive light cones yet. Hopefully they do at some point, because that would be really nice for the newer players, because this light cone is very good. So there's Silver Wolf. Then, I kind of waited for pulls until Kafka came out. And for Kafka, she was my most wanted unit from launch. And probably one of the main reasons I kept on with this game, because I was like, I just love Kafka. She's great. We all know Kafka's great, chat. And I definitely do, still use her a lot, because, dot teams, they have grown over time. And I do think, again, she is kind of timeless because of what she does. So this was like a really exciting moment for me. We definitely, we did some group pulls in the Discord as well for Kafka. It was very nice. Very fun time in Star Rail as well when I pulled her. Then for Clara, I actually picked up Clara from the 300 standard pull selector. Just because she was a cool character to me. I had already pulled 2 of her light cone at the time. I have S2 Clara light cone, which is a crazy thing to have. But, I still use her here and there, mainly for Pure Fiction at this point. But she could still do very well there, with some solid supports and everything. Plus her signature light cone giving her some extra healing and damage bonus and attack is really nice for her follow-up attacks. So, yeah, definitely a cool unit. Maybe I'll use her more at some point, but she definitely is. She definitely does have some value for sure. Then I, skipped Imbiber de Lune. I on low key, honestly, I found him kind of boring. So I decided to skip him, and I went for Pushwan because I was like, I need another sustain. And Natasha wasn't cutting it at the time, which, as you all know, Natasha is. She can work, but like every other sustain is just better at this point. Even March 7th, just because March 7th has healing plus her shields, and she can work well with specific characters since he increases the aggro chance on her shield. But for Pushwan is still absolutely broken. And the funny thing is, so when I was pulling for Pushwan, I really wanted a Lynx, and for Lynx, I ended up not even pulling Lynx on Pushwan's banner. I did 3 multis, I got Pushwan, and then I was like, okay, I'll do another 10 pull. Just one more, because I got Fuchuan way quicker than I expected to. And rather than getting a Lynx, I got a second Fuchuan. So I've been rocking E1 Fuchuan ever since, and her E1 is great, so I'm definitely not mad at that. And she's been really cooking for my account, and we really do love to see that. Then when Jing Liu's banner came out, unfortunately I was sick, and that's the only summon video that y'all didn't get. Well, actually one of 2 character pull videos that you guys didn't get. But yeah, for Jing Liu, just because I was sick. But I did lose my 50-50, unfortunately. And I ended up getting Himiko, who is actually, still a very solid character. I end up using her for Pure Fiction a bunch. I end up, Pure Fiction mainly for her. She hasn't really seen too much like Spotlight otherwise from my account, but she does still have, a lot of value there. And yeah, Pure Fiction definitely helps, bring her back into the spotlight, because a lot of players were, kind of writing her off as being like mid before that. So yeah, now that she can do really well in Pure Fiction, especially against like those Fire Week enemies, she definitely is pretty valuable. And it sucked to pull her at the time, but I did, I do think that it's good that I got her in the end. Then next up, after her, I kept pulling and I got Jing Liu. And I was like, that's cool, because Jing Liu is broken. I love Jing Liu. And also, you might be wondering, like, oh, you're free to play, but you have a signature light cone. Because this is the only limited signature light cone I have. So I pulled for this because I was already super set on skipping Topaz, who was right after her, and as well as both characters in 1.5 right after her. So I was like, I have time to get all this currency back to get whatever comes after that. So I ended up getting her light cone. Really great investment, honestly, especially for like DPS character, because I just think DPS light cones are the way to go when it comes to pulling for the like limited light cones. But yeah, my Jing Liu does a lot of damage. She could definitely be a bit better build. She could have a bit more crit rate. But besides that, she has really been cooking for me and is pretty much been a staple in a lot of my teams for sure. Then, you know, as I said, I skipped Topaz, I skipped 1.5. Then we got to the amazing version of 1.6, where, firstly, we have Ruan Mei, who we all know Ruan Mei is crazy good. And she's been, once again, another staple in a lot of my teams. I have her built currently to, you know, benefit my Jing Liu the most with the Penacony set, but regardless of where I run her, and even if I have that set on her or not, she's still able to do a ton, you know, have a ton of value. And just with how broken she is, I honestly feel kind of bad for players who either weren't able to pull on her banner or, you know, just weren't playing at the time. So I definitely do, you know, hope that, you know, when she gets a rerun, hopefully it's sooner rather than later for a lot of you, honestly, that you'll be able to pick her up, because honestly, she has not aged a second. Like, she is still as broken as she was, which is honestly awesome for her. Then, of course, probably the best moment, or one of the best moments in Star Rail's history this past year, the free Doctor ratio. This was really cool, not just because of, you know, oh, it's a free 5-star, but now in terms of like lore and storytelling, Ratio is probably my favorite character. And I just really enjoy his, you know, design, his personality. I honestly like vibe with him a lot. And, you know, obviously my Ratio build isn't like super crazy. He shares a light cone with Sela. That's why you don't see one on him right now. But he definitely is, you know, he's fun to use. I use him every so often when I need an imaginary DPS, because he is usable. He's just not like super amazing. I'll probably work on his build at some point, but, you know, and if you are like a very new player and you haven't gotten your Doctor Ratio yet, the time is running out for that as well. So definitely do be sure to go ahead and do that for him. Then we get to 2.0 times, where I start to lose a bunch of 50-50s, as we're going to see. So I ended up pulling Japard when I was pulling for Black Swan, which was, you know, it's fine, because as long as I don't have Yang Jing on my account, which I still don't 1 year later, I am really happy about that, to be honest. But I haven't gotten a chance to really be building Japard yet. I do want to, though, because he's a very good sustain. You know, he definitely has stood the test of time when it comes to the standard banners, so I definitely do like that. He could be a good option as well for his shielding, his freezing, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, not really too much to say on him right now, but we'll come back to Japard. Because then, you know, I pulled Black Swan, and Black Swan has been another staple as well, because not only is she good on dot teams, she's just a very solid debuffer as well, with her Arcana and then her skills defense downs. My build for her can be better. I think I'm going to use the 300% Relic event to work on my dot characters, because their speeds, as you can see with Kafka as well, their speeds are not where they need to be. So I do, especially Kafka, because she's running a Glomoth set for her planners, so I do want to try to get them some better relics, but, you know, we'll see how it goes, you know, with relic RNG. But yeah, Black Swan, definitely very solid character overall. Then for Sparkle's banner kind of killed me, just because I really wanted Sparkle for Mono Quantum and just to have in general. But of course, I went like nearly Hard Pity, lost the 50-50 and got E1 Clara. We have right there. And then I went near Hard Pity again to get Sparkle. So it was just not a fun time for me, but now I have her. She's been really great to use. I am still trying to get some more speed on her, but I definitely have been using her a bunch because she is really good. Then for the last limited character here, Acheron, once again, lost my 50-50. I lost it very quickly though. I believe it was like literally like first 10 pull. I got E1 Japard, which, you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. But yeah, E1 Japard. So I mean, hey, at least I have extra freeze chance on him. But then I was like, cause at first I was like, all right, I'm gonna save this guaranteed till I get like Robin, or whoever in the future. But then I was like, you know what, Acheron is, as good as she is, I'm gonna pull for her. Now the only thing holding me back with Acheron, to be honest, outside of not having a good Izumo planar set, I'm running Rainbow planars, but my Goodnight Sleep Well is only S2. So my damage is not the best right now, but Acheron is good enough to where I'm still clearing stuff with her and she's still doing very well. So yeah, right now that is, pretty much the journey of my account. Obviously I have a bunch of 4 stars. I'm not going to go over all of them because I've already been yapping for like 15 minutes here. So not going to go through everyone, but over time, just, farming up characters improving builds as I go to try to clear content. It's been very helpful, and I do think that as a free-to-play player, or even like even though if you're like a light spender or a whale, as long as you are actively like farming for your characters, seeing where you're struggling and trying to improve characters in those areas, you're gonna be, I think you'll be able to get to that endgame content probably faster than you think. Because it definitely is a process, and you shouldn't feel like you have to rush to endgame content like week 1 of the game. Like, just take your time, enjoy it, learn the game, you know, work on your character builds, and then, you know, you'll definitely see the progress. Because I wasn't max starring MOC before like at the beginning of the game. It took me a few months to be able to even do that, and also some new characters to come out. That would be, you know, make it easier. I would say, like, you can still do it with any character, but it does definitely take some time. So I just really wanted to show that with my kind of journey here. I know my characters look very good, but that is also a year of work I put into this. So now I want to get to the last point of the video, which is did HSR live up to the hype that we had on launch? Because obviously I wasn't keeping up with the game from like pre-launch during like the betas or anything, but you know, hearing about how things were during that time, and also like when the game first came out, I think that for the most part, HSR has absolutely lived up to the hype that it had on launch. So, you know, versions 1.0 to 1.2, I think were all solid. 1.0, of course, being carried by it being the release patch, and we had plenty of story to go through as well, because we had all of the space station, all of Eurilo 6, and then we had a good amount of the Ciencio story, which was very good. I mean, event-wise, it's kind of mid, but then 1.1 and 1.2 were great. 1.1 more so for the events, whereas 1.2 was more so for the you know, conclusion, or you know, the climax at least of the Ciencio story. Then when it comes to 1.3 and 1.5, they did have some highlights. Like 1.4 had Ethereum Wars, which was one of the best events. 1.3 had Swarm Disaster come out, which is awesome. But you know, some things on those weren't that great. Like, I know a lot of people were not fans of the Ciencio story and the way that concluded with like the Jing Liu thing and everything like that. And also I wasn't the biggest fan of 1.5 personally, but you know, we got through it. Honestly, it was kind of just like a chill period, even though Star Rail doesn't have chill periods for, you know, polling, but in terms of like events and stuff like that, it felt a little more chill than the earlier versions. Then 1.6, I feel like served as a really important update to start bringing the community back together, not just because of the, you know, update content, but because of, you know, the free doctor ratio for winning the game awards, and everyone just kind of coming together and being like, yeah, the Honkai Star Rail is really that game. Then 2.0 onwards have been absolutely incredible. And, you know, 2.0 with the whole, like, release of Penacony, and then 2.1 with the story being as really well written as it is, I am super excited for where, you know, 2.2 is going to lead. We have the live stream coming out in less than a day, actually, from when I'm recording this. So we're definitely going to see what they're going to be cooking up for us, but I definitely do have a lot of faith, especially how all the Penacony updates have been so far, and really just how the game has been going so far, because they've been very good at listening to our criticisms and everything, and taking, you know, what we say and trying to fix a bunch of issues. So definitely big props to the devs on that. So I do think that this game is going to be worth your time. If you like an action RPG, if you like gacha games, Honkai Star Rail is absolutely still worth your time. And honestly, I'd probably even argue, especially with the Penacony stuff, it might be more worth your time now than it ever was a year ago. Let me know in the comments down below how you all have been you know, thinking of Star Rail over the past year, how long you've been playing for as well. It's always interesting to hear, you know, when people start, if they're like day one players, if they started when the PS5 version came out, if they started during Penacony, you know, let me know when you started playing, let me know what you think about the game overall. But this has just kind of been a little bit of a yap session from me, honestly, as a video, but I did kind of want to just document my journey and really just give my thoughts on the game, because I am really enjoying it. I have been really enjoying it for the past year. But yeah, with that, everyone, that's gonna be it for me. Thank you all for watching. If you made this far in the video, I am gonna be streaming my reaction to the 2.2 live stream over on my Twitch. Link to that is in the description down below. But with that, everyone, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.